Determining the correct size for electric baseboard heaters involves calculating the heat loss of the room. Several online calculators are available to assist in this process. These include the National Comfort Institute Heat Loss Calculator, the Mitsubishi Electric Heat Load Calculation, and the Heat Loss Calculator by Radiant Electric Heat. These calculators provide estimates based on various factors. Other resources for calculating heat loss include the ASHRAE Handbook Fundamentals, which offers detailed methods for sizing heating systems. Also, the Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Institute provides resources on heat loss calculation and electric resistance heating. Consulting with local heating, ventilation, and air conditioning contractors is recommended. Qualified professionals can perform a heat loss analysis and provide recommendations based on the specific room dimensions and other factors. Factors to consider when calculating heat loss, in addition to room size, include ceiling height. Higher ceilings require more heat. Insulation is another critical factor. Well-insulated rooms require less heat. The number of windows and doors affect heat loss. Openings can allow heat to escape. Orientation should be considered. Rooms facing north receive less sunlight and require more heat. Finally, local climate is a key factor. Temperature variations affect heat loss. A general rule of thumb for well-insulated rooms in moderate climates is to use 10 watts of electric heat per square foot of floor space, or 100 watts per square meter. For poorly insulated rooms or colder climates, use 15 to 20 watts per square foot, or 150 to 200 watts per square meter. To achieve accurate sizing, it is imperative to perform a comprehensive heat loss analysis. Consider zoning baseboard heaters into multiple circuits to allow for individual room temperature control. Use a programmable thermostat to optimize energy usage. Ensure proper installation and maintenance of the baseboard heaters. Performing a heat loss analysis involves a detailed assessment of the room's characteristics. This includes measuring the dimensions of the room, including length, width, and height. Note the materials used in the walls, ceiling, and floor. Determine the insulation or value of each of these components. Count the number of windows and doors and measure their dimensions. Identify the types of windows and doors, such as single pane, double pane, or insulated. Determine the orientation of the room, noting which direction the windows and doors face. Gather historical climate data for the location, including average winter temperatures, wind speeds, and solar radiation. A heat loss calculation considers conductive heat loss through walls, ceiling, floor, windows, and doors, infiltration heat loss due to air leakage, and ventilation heat loss due to air exchange. Use a heat loss calculation formula or software to determine the total heat loss in British thermal units per hour or watts. Once the heat loss is calculated, select baseboard heaters with a total heating capacity that matches or slightly exceeds the calculated heat loss. Consider the length and placement of the baseboard heaters to ensure even heat distribution throughout the room. Zoning baseboard heaters allows for independent temperature control in different areas of the room. This can be achieved by installing multiple baseboard heaters connected to separate thermostats or using a zoning system with dampers to control airflow. Zoning can improve comfort and energy efficiency by allowing users to heat only the areas of the room that are occupied. A programmable thermostat can be used to automatically adjust the temperature of the baseboard heaters based on a preset schedule. This can help save energy by reducing the temperature when the room is unoccupied or during nighttime hours. Programmable thermostats offer features such as multiple temperature settings per day, weekend and weekday programming, and vacation mode. Proper installation and maintenance of the baseboard heaters is essential for safe and efficient operation. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation, ensuring that the heaters are properly mounted and wired. Inspect the heaters regularly for any signs of damage or wear. Clean the heaters periodically to remove dust and debris, which can reduce their efficiency. Ensure that the heaters are not obstructed by furniture or other objects, which can restrict airflow. If the heaters are not functioning properly, contact a qualified electrician or HVAC technician for repair. When selecting electric baseboard heaters, consider the following factors. The wattage rating of the heater, which determines its heating capacity. The length and height of the heater, which affects its placement and appearance. The voltage of the heater, which must match the electrical supply. The type of thermostat, such as manual, electronic, or programmable. The safety features of the heater, such as overheat protection. The warranty offered by the manufacturer. In addition to electric baseboard heaters, other types of electric heating systems are available, such as electric furnaces, electric heat pumps, and electric radiant heaters. Each type of heating system has its own advantages and disadvantages. Electric furnaces provide whole house heating, but they can be less efficient than other types of electric heating systems. Electric heat pumps can provide both heating and cooling, and they are more efficient than electric furnaces. Electric radiant heaters provide localized heating, and they are ideal for heating specific areas of a room. When choosing an electric heating system, consider the size of the area to be heated, the climate, and the desired level of comfort. Also consider the costs of installation, operation, and maintenance. Electrical considerations are paramount when installing electric baseboard heaters. Ensure that the electrical circuit has sufficient capacity to handle the load of the heaters. Consult the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 424, for requirements regarding the installation of electric space heating equipment. Use appropriately sized wiring and overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses. Ground the heaters properly to prevent electrical shock. Install a dedicated circuit for the heaters to prevent overloading the existing electrical system. Obtain any necessary permits and inspections from the local building department. Safety is a primary concern when using electric baseboard heaters. Keep combustible materials such as furniture, curtains, and clothing away from the heaters. Do not cover the heaters with anything, as this can cause them to overheat. Supervise children and pets when the heaters are in use. Turn off the heaters when leaving the room or going to bed. Install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors to provide early warning of a fire or carbon monoxide leak. In summary, calculating the electric baseboard heat requirements for a room involves a comprehensive assessment of various factors, including room size, insulation, windows, doors, orientation, and climate. Online calculators and resources are available to assist in this process. Consider zoning baseboard heaters and using a programmable thermostat to optimize energy efficiency and comfort. Ensure proper installation and maintenance of the heaters for safe and reliable operation. By following these guidelines, it is possible to determine the correct size and type of electric baseboard heaters for any room. Always consult with qualified professionals for guidance on electrical and heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. This will ensure that the heating system meets safety standards and provides optimal performance. Remember to factor in the cost of electricity when comparing electric baseboard heaters to other heating options, such as liquid petroleum gas heaters. Electric baseboard heaters are generally more expensive to operate than liquid petroleum gas heaters, but they offer advantages such as ease of installation, cleanliness, and quiet operation. The decision to switch from liquid petroleum gas to electric baseboard heat depends on individual circumstances and preferences. Consider the long-term costs and benefits of each option before making a decision. To further elaborate on the NEC requirements, Article 424 covers fixed electric space heating equipment. Part 3 of this article specifically addresses the installation of electric baseboard heaters. Section 424.9 discusses the general requirements for all fixed electric space heating equipment. This includes requirements for wiring methods, overcurrent protection, and grounding. Section 424.10 addresses the installation of heating cables on dry board, in plaster, and on concrete ceilings. Section 424.11 covers the installation of heating panels and heating panel sets. Section 424.12 addresses the installation of fixed electric space heating equipment employing forced air movement. Section 424.19 provides specific requirements for the disconnecting means for fixed electric space heating equipment. This section requires that each fixed electric space heating appliance be provided with a disconnecting means that is readily accessible and capable of disconnecting the appliance from all ungrounded conductors. The disconnecting means must be legibly and durably marked to indicate the location of the disconnecting means. Section 424.20 covers the overcurrent protection requirements for fixed electric space heating equipment. This section requires that fixed electric space heating equipment be protected by overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses that are rated in accordance with the equipment's nameplate rating. The overcurrent protection devices must be readily accessible and located in a panel board or enclosure. Section 424.21 addresses the grounding requirements for fixed electric space heating equipment. This section requires that all exposed non-current carrying metal parts of fixed electric space heating equipment be grounded in accordance with Article 250. Grounding ensures that any fault current will safely return to the source, preventing electrical shock hazards. Proper grounding also helps to reduce electrical noise and improve the overall performance of the heating system. It is crucial to consult the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes to ensure that all electric baseboard heaters are installed in compliance with safety regulations. Failure to comply with these regulations can result in serious electrical hazards, including fire, shock, and electrocution. In addition to the NEC, other standards and guidelines may apply to the installation of electric baseboard heaters. These may include standards from organizations such as Underwriters Laboratories, the American National Standards Institute, and the National Fire Protection Association. It is important to be aware of these standards and guidelines and to follow them carefully during the installation process. When performing a heat loss analysis, it is also important to consider the effects of solar heat gain. Solar heat gain occurs when sunlight enters the room through windows, warming the air and surfaces inside. The amount of solar heat gain depends on the size and orientation of the windows, the type of glass used, and the amount of sunlight that is available. In rooms with significant solar heat gain, it may be possible to reduce the size of the electric baseboard heaters. To accurately account for solar heat gain, it is necessary to use a heat loss calculation method that incorporates solar heat gain factors. These factors are typically based on the location, orientation, and window characteristics of the room. Another factor to consider when calculating the electric baseboard heat requirements for a room is the internal heat gain from occupants, lighting, and appliances. Occupants generate heat through their metabolism, while lighting and appliances generate heat as a byproduct of their operation. The amount of internal heat gain depends on the number of occupants, the type and wattage of lighting, and the type and usage of appliances. In rooms with significant internal heat gain, it may be possible to reduce the size of the electric baseboard heaters. To accurately account for internal heat gain, it is necessary to use a heat loss calculation method that incorporates internal heat gain factors. These factors are typically based on the occupancy, lighting, and appliance characteristics of the room. When selecting a programmable thermostat, it is important to choose a model that is compatible with electric baseboard heaters. Some programmable thermostats are not designed to work with electric baseboard heaters, and using an incompatible thermostat can damage the heaters or the thermostat. Look for a programmable thermostat that is specifically designed for use with electric baseboard heaters. These thermostats typically have a high current rating and are designed to handle the high inrush current that occurs when the heaters are turned on. Some programmable thermostats also offer features such as adaptive learning, which allows the thermostat to learn the heating characteristics of the room and adjust the heating schedule accordingly. This can help to improve energy efficiency and comfort. When installing electric baseboard heaters, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. The instructions will provide specific details on how to mount the heaters, wire them, and connect them to the thermostat. It is also important to ensure that the heaters are properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. If you are not comfortable performing the installation yourself, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the job. A qualified electrician will have the knowledge and experience to install the heaters safely and correctly. Remember that modifying the electric system may require an updated permit. The electrician can tell you this. After the electric baseboard heaters are installed, it is important to maintain them properly. Regularly clean the heaters to remove dust and debris, which can reduce their efficiency. Inspect the heaters for any signs of damage or wear. Ensure that the heaters are not obstructed by furniture or other objects which can restrict airflow. If the heaters are not functioning properly, contact a qualified electrician or HVAC technician for repair. Also inspect the wiring after installation for any unsafe conditions. This inspection should be done every year. The heater should be replaced if it presents any unsafe condition. By following these maintenance tips, you can help to ensure that your electric baseboard heaters operate safely and efficiently for many years. When determining the placement of electric baseboard heaters, consider the location of windows and doors. Place the heaters under windows or along exterior walls to help offset heat loss. Avoid placing the heaters behind furniture or other obstructions, which can restrict airflow and reduce their efficiency. Ensure that the heaters are not located near flammable materials, such as curtains or bedding. The National Electric Code provides information on this topic as well. Consider the overall layout of the room when determining the placement of the heaters. Distribute the heaters evenly throughout the room to provide uniform heating. In larger rooms, it may be necessary to install multiple heaters to achieve adequate heating coverage. Consult with a qualified HVAC technician for guidance on the optimal placement of the heaters. Remember that proper placement of electric baseboard heaters is essential for achieving optimal heating performance and energy efficiency. Another consideration when installing electric baseboard heaters is the aesthetic appearance of the heaters. Electric baseboard heaters are available in a variety of styles and colors to match the decor of the room. Choose heaters that blend in well with the surroundings and do not detract from the overall appearance of the room. Consider the size and shape of the heaters when making your selection. Smaller, more compact heaters may be a good choice for smaller rooms, while larger, more powerful heaters may be necessary for larger rooms. Select heaters that are easy to clean and maintain. Heaters with smooth, non-porous surfaces are generally easier to clean than heaters with textured surfaces. In addition to their heating function, electric baseboard heaters can also serve as a design element in the room. Choose heaters that complement the overall style and design of the room. By carefully considering the aesthetic appearance of the heaters, you can create a heating system that is both functional and visually appealing.